Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Robo Talk with XLR8. My name is Andrew. I'm here with Jacob and Zach.
How's it going?
We're going to be talking about some tech news today. So, as you all know, Windows 11 is finally out to the masses right now. I personally have already upgraded my PC to Windows 11. Kind of my main points is it's smoother and it's, I guess, more stable for games. I play a lot of video games and I feel that it's more stable. Jacob, do you have any thoughts about this?
The only experience I have with it is other people's computers, and personally, it looks nice. It feels very smooth, but my computer can't handle it. I'm not trying to upgrade all my games or change something. Windows 11. So, I mean, I'll get it when I get a new computer, but for now, I think it's alright.
Mother Hubbard, why was that so loud?
To keep in context, I don't know if this is gonna show up in post, but we had a piece of paper with a tiny piece of duct tape on it that said "on air" and that we hung up in the window, and it just smacked the ground so hard. So
like a baby falling on the ground.
We'll see what happens. But kind of the main comparison that everybody was comparing this to was Mac OS. You guys have any disagreement about that?
It certainly is round.
Yeah, when I first saw it, it was almost reminded me of a Mac. I haven't dug too deep into it, but I'll probably upgrade mine just to see how it is, and then probably revert back if I don't like it.
Literally everything's rounded, all of it. Like any window, like if it was normally square, it's now all rounded.
Just like FTC, no sharp corners.
Get it? Because if you have sharp corners, you don't have a robot anymore. Okay. Moving along to Amazon. Amazon has made the decision to allow workers in corporate and technology to remain working from home indefinitely, as long as they're still able to make it into the office as necessary.
As long as I'm still getting my packages on time, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, so the people who actually work, like the fulfillment center and the drivers, they can't work from home.
Sadly,
they're still gonna be there.
Yes,
but the office workers will be back, and I think that's interesting because that's kind of the direction that I feel like a lot of businesses are gonna go to as we're continuing to go back to whatever normal is gonna become.
And then just wait until we get the Amazon drones and the robots that deliver stuff, so just stay home in general.
Then the fulfillment center can work out.
Yeah.
Then you just have like those van drivers. They're just driving a joystick in their office.
There's actually going to be an Amazon depot here that's supposed to be mostly autonomous.
You're
in Elkhart.
Cool.
On the topic of Amazon again, a little subsection of Amazon. Amazon made a game called New World. It is an MMORPG.
Very cool.
And the only in-game purchases are skins. Their first self-developed and published game. It can
used to be able to your GPU, specifically the 3090s and I think most of the 30 series. They fixed it, but that's kind of a big oversight. I don't know how that happens.
That happened with a lot more than just that, because there was like 3090s like fan speeds just like ramping up constantly. Did you see anything about that or no?
I haven't looked too far into it. I mean, not really.
It was just like they like ramped up to over 1 million RPM, which is impossible. But so it was like breaking fans, and it was not good.
Wasn't this the game that also had people going crazy trying to log in? If you logged out, you may not log back in because it had so much traffic.
Possibly. Seems very popular. Amazon making a game. It'll be interesting to see what they do because they've made a whole division, like a whole company for making games.
Yeah, all these big companies making games and games dudes and all that sort of thing.
So when you're thinking about Amazon owns Blue Origin. Now, who is one of the only competitors to Blue Origin? SpaceX. SpaceX sent
Virgin
its
Galactic.
first all-civilian flight into orbit the other month, and it is a great achievement. Four
It-
civilian passengers. They spent 3 days. They orbited the Earth at 360 miles an hour, and it was all part of a fundraising event for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. They circled around the planet 45 times before coming back down to the Earth, and there's some plans in the works for having passengers to go to the International Space Station, and another mission is going to go around the moon with a Japanese billionaire.
Last month, for those not listening, as we release this, would be mid-September. But it's cool to see an all-civilian flight for space travel, because as we increase in space flight capabilities, things like shipping, I think, would be less cost intensive, because it's easier to move around if you're in space.
So we can like theoretically have packages delivered via missile, land-to-air missile.
It would be land to land.
Why would you do that?
Kinda.
I'm looking forward to hopefully getting more people up into space, like William Shatner, because it was awesome when he went up there. Or who else of like the stars of sci-fi and space shows would go up into space next.
Speaking of space and the moon, Moondig, a group of Arizona college researchers and engineers, have revived funding from NASA to look into mining and using the materials on the moon to make a moon base. Mining lunar minerals could help us with valuable building materials like gold and platinum, and possibly even helium-3, which is used on Earth for nuclear reactions. Mining on the moon persists new challenges because you have limited energy and limited resources. This is all the types of challenges and many more that this Arizona team has to accomplish.
That's going to be pretty huge and pretty interesting how they do that. Now, is it just for building stuff on the moon or building stuff here on Earth?
Well, it could be for both, but in order to have it for Earth, they need to bring the stuff back, which wouldn't be hard. Like, if they eventually grouped enough materials together, they could probably just send a mission to the moon and bring it back, because gold, a large amount of gold would be very good.
Yeah.
But then I think you would almost have to create a two-way transport. You would have to build a civilization there and have almost like an Amazon truck.
Oh boy.
Go there and back, transporting goods and then receiving goods and bringing it back almost.
Yeah, have a little moon base and a moon civilization there, which would be pretty cool, because I remember it's been a while ago that they were developing machines that would make concrete buildings on the moon. It'd be almost all autonomous.
3D printed hell.
Pretty much.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Those are pretty cool. Speaking of the moon, Bitcoin to the moon, hopefully by the end of the year. I have recently bought like one, I don't know what we figured it out. It's one some hundred of a fraction of Bitcoin. But it's projected to almost double. At the time of recording, Bitcoin's around 65,000, and it's supposed to jump up to 135,000. So I'm hoping for that. But the more important part of this is the increase in popularity of different cryptocurrencies, because it's expanding the global markets to having a more universal way of transacting. Because in the very far past, it used to all just be gold and silver. So there could be a new emergence of trade because of it.
I'm looking forward to that as well, because I have a little bit in crypto as well. I got a little bit in the Bitcoin and the Dogecoin. Hopefully they go up.
Going along with our space theme today, we're going to have Zach talk about space tacos.
So astronauts on the ISS harvested hatch chilies and used them to make tacos, which hopefully were pretty good. This was pretty much a way to experiment on how things would grow into space, and from what it looks like, did pretty good. Hopefully, give us a taste of it here on Earth.
Send it back. It's going to be worth like a couple $1,000s. I'm telling you.
I think they might have eaten all of them. But I guess they still probably have a few specimens that they should probably have a better study on Earth. But what's more interesting about it is, I think to date, the only other things that they've grown on the International Space Station have been like simple, I don't think grasses, but like kale and cabbage. Really simple type things. So the pepper is a more complex plant. And so it'll be interesting to see how this works into long-term space travel, because until we have some sort of stasis figured out, we're going to need to make food in space.
Yeah. Now, in The Martian, they have them growing potatoes. Have they actually grown potatoes yet, or is that just...
I don't think they have potatoes yet.
Dang, we don't have potato technology.
Yeah. Oh, I think for the potatoes, I guess they already bring dirt, but I think it uses the dirt more. I'm not a farmer, so I wouldn't know. But I think potatoes are kind of intensive on the ground. It like drains.
Yeah, because it's more of a root.
Yeah.
Going back to SpaceX, the SpaceX capsule carrying 4 astronauts docked with the International Space Station just yesterday. They approached the International Space Station, which orbits around 200 miles above the Earth, and made a gentle in-orbit meetup, kicking off the astronauts' 6-month stay at that space station through SpaceX. It kicked off Wednesday night when they strapped themselves to the Dragon capsule and sat atop of one of SpaceX's 200-foot tall Falcon 9 rockets out of Kennedy Space Center in Florida, which, in my opinion, I have been there. My goodness, you should see that NASA tower. It is huge. Like really big. Like, it's out in the middle of nowhere, and then there's just this NASA tower.
Yeah,
there's just a tower with NASA logo on it. It's so cool out there.
Yeah, I remember I was down in Orlando at, I think it was Epcot. We saw a rocket launch. It was pretty cool.
So cool.
And for date-wise, it was yesterday, correct?
They took off. Yep, they took off yesterday.
So that would have been November 10th.
They got here today.
Cool. They might be able to pick up the rest of the space talk over.
They might be able to share.
I don't know. That's actually like a month ago. New round of peppers, hopefully.
Yeah.
Isn't the Kennedy Space Center like right on the coast?
Yes, so essentially the Kennedy Space Center is located in, it should be Cape Canaveral?
So
Is it Cape Canaveral?
I thought Cape Canaveral was its own space station, or not space station, space launch. But
Oh, no, you might.
I think, well, most of the space launches are by like the coast or on the edge of the water, very close to it at least. Mostly because of FAA. Is that the flight one? I think it is. FAA regulations, because you're not supposed to be within like 500 feet above someone's house, or maybe a few miles. I don't know, but you're not supposed to fly over someone's house with a rocket in case they blow up. So they have to be on the edge. And so what SpaceX is really kind of, I think, trying to pioneer is launching over the water. Because right now we only really have one direction to take off in, and that's...
I thought it was west.
Yes, like Jacob is saying, we pulled up a map. The Kennedy Space Center is east of Orlando. East of Orlando, north of Cape Canaveral.
On
And
what
like-
looks like an island.
Yeah, which is almost an island, right in the dead center of Florida. So they essentially, like Jacob said, they have to go east. They just, like, they don't have anywhere else to go. A lot of this stuff, though, got controlled in Houston, Texas. Like, a lot of these missions were all in Houston, Texas. They were shot off in Florida, and they were multiple hours to the west. But it's really quite fascinating. They have giant museums there with all the different rockets. And it's really quite fascinating how small you are compared to these giant rockets that people have to get strapped to and launched at, what is it? How many G's do they hit? At least probably like,
I have no idea.
Up
That's
to
a
you.
lot.
At least
And then that
These two.
comparison to what they're actually in at the end is just a little capsule just on the top of that giant rocket.
so they experience 3 G's on launch and about almost 2 on the way back down.
Mm.
So 3 times gravity's weight is being pushed on them when they get launched, and about 2 times more
on the way back.
on the way back. So it hurts. It's survivable, but it's gonna hurt.
I wonder if Houston will end up being like Kleenex. What everyone refers to tissues as Kleenex. If the space center of wherever moves, if we'll still say Houston, we have a problem. I feel like that'd be funny.
I think that's just a thing that's being said in general for anything.
Well, yeah,
Well,
but
that was in movies too. That was-
Yeah.
since it's based in Houston, they say Houston. If it moves out, if it's no longer Kleenex, still a Kleenex.
True.
All right. Well, so in late September, someone made an iPhone that successfully used a USB-C adaptation, like inside of the phone. So he like took it apart and put it back together with a USB-C port, and it could successfully transfer data and charge. And so now the European Union is looking to make a proposal that'll make all charged devices have a USB-C standard to reduce waste caused by extra cords being
Didn't they sell it?
telephone.
I think the phone's up for auction.
Oh, really?
That'd be cool. I don't think it'd be under warranty, but it.
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't work. Like
Oh, that's
it
too bad.
right now. It
Holy
according
moly.
to 3 hours ago, it just sold for $86,000.
That's
Dang.
crazy.
If I took a picture of it, so
86,000.
that as an NFT.
You may.
$2. No, but yeah, that'll be interesting because iPhone always had proprietary charging.
Well,
But-
this is pulling them out of the water. Like now they're getting forced by a government.
They might be getting forced by the European Union to sell those products in Europe, which would kind of be weird if they decided to only have the USB-C version in Europe.
I mean,
because-
it's not like companies haven't done that before.
Yeah, I mean, I think they have other products for like or some other country. I know they have different, or some companies have different products for different countries. Like Coke can't be sold in India.
In cars is another thing.
Yeah,
Like the Jeep brand made a Jeep Renegade Loki edition after the Avenger Loki, and it was only available in Italy.
Wow.
Yeah, like
but the proposal is set to be possibly approved in 2022, and then all companies will have 2 years to change products to comply with that. So the minimum time we're going to be seeing USB-C ports on everything would be 2024, I think, which would still be good. But the only issue I can see with it is if you lock someone down to one technology, then I don't know how far we can move in advancing.
But USB-C is fast.
Well, yeah, but like if it's a USB-C standard and someone's like, oh my gosh, I made this other port and they can't use it that much. It'd just be USB-C for charging and stuff, but like if you had a faster connection for a phone and stuff and you couldn't put it in the phone because there was this standard, then that could be problematic, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
I was about to say, because if there's a faster cable, wouldn't they just go with that one instead? Wouldn't they reevaluate their situation?
Well, yeah, but
Because it's not set in stone.
legal systems are slow.
Well,
This is going to take
yeah.
4 years, and it's being talked about now.
Isn't USB-C like the biggest used like cable in Europe and
yeah, because all new phones have it except the iPhone. That's
Yeah.
literally it.
Because iPhones have always had their own.
Because they're super powerful.
Lightning
Like they're
connection.
Yeah.
efficient in what they do, and like it's a phone. And here's Zach talking about the latest FTC news.
So far, there's been league meets and competitions starting already, and hopefully everyone out there is doing well. And seen a few robots so far, and it's looking pretty good. I can't wait until we start in what 3-4 weeks.
Yeah,
Well,
we got a later season than most.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it. And also, if anyone needs any help or any assistance, you can contact us at gearsaccelerate@outlook.com. That's GEARS accelerate@outlook.com.
also will be in the description.
Yes.
It will be in the description. Thank you, Zach, for that wonderful outreach opportunities, plugins, and thank you for the FTC report. As we near to the end of this episode, I would like to thank everyone for coming in and listening tonight, or in the morning, whenever you're listening to this. Thank you all for listening, and I hope you have a great day. Peace.